What's up, guys? I'm just doing a little test run real quick. See what's going on. See if everything's working right. Hope everyone's doing okay. What's up, Pale Shelter? Tooth and Nail. It's a little test run I'm doing right now and make sure everything's working with Kris. I'm going to go live in a little bit, though. Thanks for joining. Oh, you like that? It's thick. Full of bugs. What's up, Jake? We're doing a little test run right now just to make sure everything's going off right, and we'll get to it in a second. Hey, Sloan. What's up? Hope everyone's doing good out there in pandemic land. I'm just about to go live in a little bit with Kris Russ. He's got a new single and a new record coming, and it's really awesome. Really excited about it. Christopher, can you join? Can I invite you? Ooh, that's it. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Mr. Russ.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, dude?
I like your mustache.
Oh, thanks. It's getting to that point. I gotta trim it back a little bit.
Trim it back a little bit. No, just let it do the whole thing, bro.
Yeah, I did it before. It's a lot of wax. How you been, dude?
Man, everything's been kind of crazy actually. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I did a lot of work during the quarantine, but also at the same time, it was just so hard to stay motivated. So I've just been
I know the feeling, man. I know the feeling. We can only do what we can do from behind closed doors at our house with no money coming in.
yeah. Well, like, I don't know. Things were interesting. Now life's pretty back to normal. You know, I'm working like a day job and doing Lyft and stuff just to fund everything that's going on.
Nice.
No,
Yeah, you got money coming in, man. It's hard for us artists too, especially music's most of what we know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. We got a couple of minutes before we start. So,
Right.
what's up, everybody? What's up, Blaine? What's up,
Hey,
Queen? What's up, everyone? Thanks for joining. We haven't started yet. We're probably going to start in about, I don't know, 5 minutes, something like that.
yeah, about 5 minutes or so. I'm looking to see who's said hey. Sloan's hey. Hey, what up, Ben? Oh, Blaine's in there. We got Pale Shelter Official on here. What?
Yeah, I'm loving their new record, man. I've been
Man,
rocking it a lot. It's got some really awesome, interesting stuff going on. I like it.
I haven't had a chance to actually sit down and enjoy it, but I did give it a nice little share. It's really hard now whenever other people stuff like I've been doing a lot of like research on marketing and stuff like that, but we'll get into that later. But it's like hard to while I'm promoting my stuff to promote other people's stuff at the same time.
Yeah, because you only have those amount of slots that don't overload your algorithm to the point where it's like, it's going to mess it up. So you have a limited space to promote your stuff. And when you promote other stuff, it's almost like you have to sacrifice a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Be upfront about it and be like, hey, I haven't gotten a chance to listen to it, but I'm definitely going to. I know I've
Right.
it. So there's just that. I download everybody's stuff and just kind of keep it on my iTunes, and then I like play it while I'm driving people around, and they're like, "Oh, who's this?" or stuff. So
that's the best way to rep. I mean, remember back in the day, you're rocking something, and someone's like, "Man, what are you listening to?" And you're like, "Oh, that's blah blah blah," and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna check that out."
really is like, man, like you have the entire Concrete Spotify like that they have
Yeah.
all the time as well.
I'm sure. Dude, I thought it was a really interesting idea what the used to do back in the day is they'd show up at a festival. They were about to play like Warped Tour or something, and they would have like all of them would have like Walkmans or like Discmans with their new record in it, right?
Oh
And
my,
they'd walk around and be like, hey, put this in your ears. And people would put it in their ears and be like, oh, yeah, you like that? And they'd be like, yeah, I like that. That's our new record, dude. You want to buy it? And they'd be like, yeah. And so they'd walk around the festival constantly, just letting people have a taste before they just blindly purchased. And people were buying records and T-shirts and all kinds of shit left and right just from
man,
being shown the music.
that's We need to have like our own little local music festival.
We're gonna. Me and Daniel have been talking about putting together something like a big fall fest sometime soon with a lot of bands and maybe even a little guest national to come in.
Oh,
So
okay.
we've been talking about that. We're going to see how that works out, but I don't think it's going to happen this fall. So it'll definitely be 2020 for spring before or something before we're going again.
2020 has been hell on wheels, but we'll also get into that.
Fuck it, man. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. Can we just call this 2021?
Yeah. Okay. Well, no, because it's probably no, because 2020.
Yeah, more shit's going to happen. Yeah. Sure.
I don't want to already just like jeopardize 2021. All right. Oh, what's up, Jake? Let's see who else is on here. I don't have my clock.
Jake's cool, dude. I like Jake.
Jake is cool.
Good
He's
people.
on his like licks and shit. Oh, this would be awesome. That would be awesome. Oh yeah, you're right, dog. Oh man, thank you for the hearts. We can take as many of those as you want. Yeah, just keep on doing that. It actually helps.
Love those hearts.
We do. Not much. All right. So whenever you want to start, I guess, or we can wait for another like 4 minutes or so and just kind of chill.
Yeah, let's chill for a second. Might as well be official and stuff, you know.
7. So.
Dude, I'm loving the new song though on the reel. It's really well done, man. It's really catchy.
Thank you. That's gonna be an interesting story. I don't want to give away too much.
Yeah, we're not. No, yeah, we're not going to get into it yet. Just yet. We got 3 minutes. We got 4 minutes before we get into this bad boy.
And hopefully that doesn't.
Everybody in Instagram land. I'm Vince from Good Hell Promotion.
Man, I love that guy.
Daniel cannot be here right now. He's very sad about that. He's on the radio doing his radio thing.
Yeah, you want to know what? That's fine.
He chose some big, national rock band interviewing instead of you, Chris. It's terrible.
Okay, it's okay. One that's gonna be all of us, and some of us maybe.
Right. So you got your coffee going?
Yeah, I had to. See, okay, so Google played me, and I'm a basic. All right, I am absolutely basic whenever it comes to fall. I love pumpkin spice.
Right.
Of pumpkin spice. So I Googled it, and I was like, when does pumpkin spice come out? And of course, 2020 hits me again, and it said that it came out today, like for a month. I've been checking every day, and I was like, all right, maybe I misread it or something. We pull up this morning. Marie's like, yeah, pumpkin spice yet? And I'm expecting them to say yes. I'm getting excited. And they're like, no, not yet. And now it releases on the 23rd. And I was like, fuck you, 2020.
Wow. So there's an actual release date for the pumpkin spice wave.
There is.
Yeah, dude, before you know it, everything will be pumpkin spice. Pumpkin spice Rice Krispies, pumpkin spice Cheerio. There'll be pumpkin spice everything.
Because fall is my area. That's kind of like why I wanted to release a lot of this music around this time.
Great time, man. It's my favorite time of the year. Especially living in New Orleans, it's the time of the year where like the heat lets up and the cool comes in and, Halloween and, all the good stuff. Oh yeah. Eggnog?
Eggnog is tight. I like.
As long as it's not too eggy, it's got to be more nog than egg.
So like, I like alcoholic eggnog. I'm not even going to cap. I can't do the coffees for some reason. I've tried them. I actually was working at Starbucks whenever they came out with more of the eggnog flavors and stuff, and I just could not get into it. I was like, okay, I like the eggnog, I like the coffee, but when you put them together, it just
right. Yeah, not work. It's too different. Yeah, they battle bad flavors. It's about that time, huh?
Yeah, Spence is bringing up some.
Ooh, Spence, hey buddy. All right, well we're about to kick it off. We might as well. It's 6:59. We're a minute early. Welcome, everybody. I'm Vince from Give It Hell, and we're having a little Q&A with Mr. Christopher Russ, who just released a new single recently and a new video, and it's kick-ass. And let's just start off by saying it's been a minute. Chris, how you been, man?
Oh, man, I've been busy. Busy. Like, I've been making new friends, some of the best people that I've, could
awesome.
Everything. And I've been just kind of like taking some time for me because it's been a moment since I've actually done that. But now I'm getting like back into the groove of things. Like for the last 2 days, I've been sitting here kind of like writing. I have like my entire little setup. Can't really like show you because it's kind of a mess right now because I took it apart so I could
Got
do.
full diagram, outline, points, everything needs to be done.
Yeah, but I've been trying to get back into the groove of things and trying to get back into the mindset of writing after quarantine because quarantine it was hard on people with like head issues and stuff. And I suffer from some things, and it is what it is. But I also like to like run and do all these positive things in order to like take care of them. But I think I drank a little too much during quarantine, and I've just been kind of like rolling with it.
Hey, whatever you're feeling at the time, and we're all going through a lot of that mental stuff right now. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of people out of work, a lot of people can't pay bills, a lot of people can't play shows. Shitty. It's shitty, man. So, how excited are you to get the new record in everyone's ears?
To be honest, not to cap or anything, but this is probably some of the best stuff I've written in a very long time. And I wrote it about a year and a half ago, and it was right at the peak of like some of the writing that I was doing for my old band. And I'm just really, really excited and really, really like hopeful to see everything kind of come together. And BVTV has been really interesting to work with. I wasn't expecting like I'm gonna be real. I shot it to Dreambound and I shot it to one other place, and I never got responded to. So I was like, all right, cool, it is what it is. And then found BBTV through the guy who shot the music video. He was like, yo, just pitch it to them, and they were like, man, we love it. We can't wait to put it out, and da. And so they might be releasing a little surprise like later on. I don't want to give an actual date because nothing's like set in stone yet.
Got you. That sounds awesome. Well, I mean, it's so awesome for blogs and places like that to give us independent artists, you know, some kind of a channel to get it out there to more people than we know. You know, it's such a cool thing. Like I've worked with Blank TV and a couple other people and stuff like that. So supportive, man. So supportive. You know, and that's really awesome that they supported you and put your stuff on their channel because I saw you got some hits.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of watches.
It's at like 14,000 right now, and I was like, me and Goalies, we were talking, and he was like, man, it hit like 12,000 in its first day, and I was like, whoa, what? I didn't want to look at it. I didn't want to see it because I was like, this is being released on somebody that does like mostly hardcore bands and like slam bands and stuff, and I'm just this acoustic guy. So, but I found a nice little crowd, and they've been like, they attached the Spotify link, and my Spotify listeners are almost up to 200 from just that specifically.
Nice. That's great.
I was like, all right, cool. You know, it's the baby steps. You know, it doesn't all just happen, you know.
Definitely.
So,
and you know, good music's good music. You know, like you know, whether you're working with you know, a place that usually does hardcore bands or punk bands or whatever, if it's good, people are gonna like it and they're gonna respond to it. You know.
Yeah.
But a lot of metalheads love them some slow R&B or, you know, some alternative and stuff. So
I know. I know. Like everybody listens to something else. Like you don't just all listen to like one genre. It's just like,
yeah, you would just sound like that. You would just sound straight like that the whole time.
Yeah, it's just like metal all day. Or
dude, that's Jim. He sounds like Slayer all the time. You know.
Oh, thank you, Will, for attaching this. By the way, there's a Spotify link right there.
Sweet.
Will's like one of my number one friends and fans. He like calls me all the time. I can't answer all the time, and I feel bad, but I'm like stupid busy right now. Like I'm actually like trying to email people and just trying to get shit out there.
Dude, releasing a single and a record is so much work for an independent artist. People don't realize it until until you're like 6 months into it and like, you know, $2,000 in the hole, and you're like, man, I've been doing this every night compulsively. It's so much work for an independent artist, and you don't have a full team doing it, you know.
And it was like but like the thing with this release is I saw the mistakes I did with like other releases, and I'm like, holy crap, I could have been just doing this and really attacking the people like that can get it heard. Like you don't want to just release it and pitch it to one person and be like, oh well, that person gave up on me. No, you gotta
right
where you get like one yes, and that's just how it goes. Like especially if you're an independent artist, people want to see how bad you want it, and Well, I've been doing this for a moment now, and now that I'm finally starting to break through that barrier, I can't stop now. I got to keep up with
Got
that.
to keep hustling, especially while the iron's hot, man. You got to
Yeah,
keep pushing it, pushing it, pushing it. You know, and it's hard work. It's up every night and every day, and answering emails constantly, and competing with the big boys on other things. But hey, man, it's worth it. You know, it's definitely worth it. You definitely get in tenfold what you put in. You know,
yeah,
and I see so many great bands that are excellent bands, great music, but they don't push their release like they should push it, like they're proud of it, like
yeah.
they care, you know, like they, you know, it's sad when you got some amazing song and it's got like 20 views on YouTube.
Hmm.
You know?
But mostly it's just the fact that it's not like, it's not how much you push it, it's where you push it. Is
No,
what
mm-hmm.
because like you don't want to be that band that's like, oh man, check out my stuff. Oh man, check out my stuff. You know, you want to be that band that's like Ty. Do you know who Ty is?
Maybe.
Ty Treehorn. He's an acoustic artist, and he put out a single called "The Air," which was amazing. Like, absolutely, I would definitely like everybody can go and check that out. Like, he's like parallel with all the stuff that I'm doing, if not maybe better than what I do. And he like got featured in a bunch of magazines. He got all this like press coverage from his one release because he was really like putting this plan together and like building that iceberg, you know, like you see the tip, but there was like so much work that went into it and was so refreshing and passionate to see an artist do that, you know.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
We see a lot of artists in the local scene that are very passionate about what they do. So I would love to see a lot of artists like rise up and not be afraid to take that extra step. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those artists have this weird introverted like shyness to where they're afraid to push, not push their music, but say, hey man, I'm an artist, this is what I do, check out my stuff. You know, like people, when you're in business and you have a business card, you know, and someone's talking about needing their lawn cut and you're a landscaper, you pull that business card out and you're like, hey, you know, if you ever need your lawn cut, you can call me. Well, I feel like, you know, socially, it's always good to let people know who you are and what you represent, and keep something on you to socialize. Met so many good friends just from like a conversation in a bar somewhere. It turned out to be something really good, you know?
And that's also like another thing. Like, yeah, it's cool to be doing your stuff and everything, but with the development of music, I found that I also have to like work on myself a lot. So like with the last 3 months, all I've been doing is like really going into my psyche and trying to figure out like, what do you really want to be doing? Like, is music the answer? And I was like, you know what? I keep coming back to music. So obviously music has some attachment to me. Obviously I'm going to find ways to fund it until it starts to fund itself, but that's just part of the passion.
Yeah.
And, you know, like owning up to some of my mistakes that I've made and just like becoming and developing as a better person just is part of the process of also like trying to be the best musician you can be. And I'm not saying like you have to get rid of your demons completely, but I'm saying that you at least need to sit at the same table with them and accept them.
Yeah, definitely. 100%, or you'll go crazy.
Yeah.
Or you'll find out you're living a lie later. So I got a couple more questions for you, Kris. All right. How long has this record been in the works? You said about a year and a half?
So these songs, okay, so it's a 5-song EP.
Okay.
So surprise, surprise, Don't Mind Me, that original drop was supposed to be part of that, but it's like we all felt like it just did not fit into these songs. I tried. It's kind of like probably, well, which is weird because I love the song, but it's like my least favorite out of all the songs on the EP. But I still like yeah, we've been working on all of these songs for a moment. We sat there in the studio. We all like it was just me and Jonathan Doles, and we both just kind of like sat there. And he was like, "Why don't we do this? Why don't we make acoustic songs that just are really wide?" And I was like, "That sounds
big sounding."
Yeah, that sounds awesome as frick. Why not? Let's go ahead and just get in there." So I went and I wrote 4 songs literally within like a 2-week time frame. And I was like, what do I want to write about? And I was really mad about a lot of stuff that was going on. I was also like very like distressed, you know, band just broke up. My job was gone, I was like, what in the world's going on here? You know, like my entire like world just and I was like, all right, you want to know what? I'm just gonna rebuild myself up then. So I went in I went in with the personal knowledge that I had of like things that have gone on and that I felt like people could relate to. So I still hit it with the THM relatability, but didn't want to go in the THM realm. You know,
Right.
I wanted to be a singer-songwriter, not just a songwriter. So I wanted to notice the voice, the melodies, and just really feel the songs. And now with I Try, I work at a facility that's helping with the COVID-19 process right now, with like shipping out things to like high proteins and like big boxes of meals and stuff to just people that are like, in need.
Got you.
That's kind of what I do right now. But the person that got me hired on is a good friend of mine, and she listened to the song, and the very next day, or like it's been a couple days, and yesterday I went into work for the first time since that song was released, and everybody was like, holy crap, like that song made me feel something. And I was like, that's what it's supposed to do.
That's what it's about. That's the whole mission right there. Like, it's the connection, you know? You could go through all the motions. You could have the highest voice, the fastest fingers. You could be the best drummer on earth. You could have the band doing all kinds of crazy stuff. But if you ain't connecting, you're just going through the motions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Connecting everything.
Don't get me wrong. I love like Barrier and like some tech death stuff and just,
Oh, yeah, yeah. But
you know,
it has feeling.
yeah, it has a lot of stuff. And like I know how complicated that stuff is to play, but then you have somebody that plays like 4 chords and they're getting like all these views and stuff, and it's just because it resonates.
Yeah.
A lot
of people feel simple.
Yeah.
You know, and there's so much beauty and simplicity too that people overlook, you know.
Mm-hmm.
True to tell you, I mean, my whole life I've been a songwriter, and just until in the last 5 years, the songwriting part of it hasn't been the number one, but lately it has. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we all, when we're young, we all want to play super fast and, you know, impress and do all this other stuff. But really, when it comes to a good song, that doesn't really mean much. You know?
Yeah, it's not about like of course you have theory and stuff, but we won't get into that.
Right. Of course, dude.
Not shitting on anybody. That's not.
No, never shitting on anybody. But you can definitely hear the difference in between a song that's being played, no matter what genre it is, if it's being played by somebody with passion behind it or somebody that's just playing it just to play it. You know.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. Oh man.
Get that stretch in, boy.
I gotta. Okay.
So I got a couple more questions for you.
All
If you're down to answer some more. All right. So is there a particular track off the new EP that stands out above the rest that may mean more than the rest of the songs, or may just for you is the most special track on the EP?
So when it comes to the EP, I want to say that song 1 is going to be the most meaningful track to me, and it's the most recent one that I wrote, and I really pushed my limits. Like with the other 4 songs, I was working with a vocal coach by the name of Kentro, who did really well to find like a center resonance within me, and also like helped me find out how to hit those high notes a lot easier so I can be more consistent at shows and also be more consistent in the studio. And I literally do like vocal warm-ups every day.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. So like, but I also like, I take this really seriously, but it's all fun, but at the same time. But so I worked with him through the first 4 songs, and then I got in touch with Elijah Witt from Cane Hill, and me and him kind of hit it off, and he started teaching me a lot of vocal warm-ups as well. You know, like of course I paid these people and stuff, and he started teaching me like these certain other things that I could do to really find my voice. So putting both of those together, I was able to find this like unique and really interesting area that I think really resonates with Beg, because I usually write, you know, your sad songs like I Try and everything, or, you know, like Too Much to Bear and stuff. But
right.
This one, like I haven't written an actual angry song in a very long time. And this one just was like really pushed my limits. and it was just something that I really was proud of. Uh, every song has a certain emotion that I had to attach to it, and I won't take that away from any of the songs. I try is about forgiving yourself, but also at the same time, you need to forgive people for also their mistakes if you're going to do that. Because you're trying to be a good person, you're allowed to make mistakes and find yourself through that, but so are they. So you can't really blame another person
Right.
For what you did, and you also can't blame them for what they're doing. You can keep a safe space. It's like the Tupac quote where it's like, just because I lost you as a friend doesn't mean you gained me as an enemy. Like that was kind of the approach that I had with the I Try and I Try lyrics. Like I didn't, everybody I want to see eat, I don't ever wish the worst for anybody, and that had to go including myself. But with Beg, it was just like, I'm fucking pissed.
You're releasing the demons.
Yeah.
In that song.
Yeah. It was like, this wasn't fair. Like, this wasn't fair. I was young. I wasn't able to really understand what was going on. So what in the,
Right.
what, I really need to watch my language whenever we do interviews.
It's all good. We don't have FCC getting on us or anything.
Right.
I don't think any kids are watching, thank God.
God, right.
So the video for I Try is out now.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit about your New York adventure.
Oh man! Oh, this was fun. Okay, so I talked with Eric DiCarlo, who shot, most known for shooting Attila videos and like big bands like that. Got in contact and was like, "Yo, dude." So I have this. I remember the exact moment when he accepted it because I sent it to him. I sent it to this guy named Brandon Brumley, and I sent it to two other videographers that I can't recall the name right now. I didn't want to work with George from Tooth and Nail yet, because I have a very specific plan I want to do with George, because I know craft and everything. So the fact that I didn't appreciate George's quality is just, I want to expand my horizons in other areas and then bring all of that to the New Orleans scene. Because I feel like that people look over the New Orleans scene a lot, but I feel like I feel like I can reach out to California and New York, but we'll get onto that another time. So I was going in to get a haircut from my friend Dustin because I knew that I was going to be shooting a music video. So I just didn't know who with. So I'm sitting there, phone goes off, I look at it, and Eric came back and he's like, "Man, I am loving this track." I was like, "It's not even mastered yet or anything," but he loves it. He was like, "I want you to fly up here. Like, let's talk about how to do this. Like, what are you expecting and everything?" And I was like, "I really like, if you love my track, I want your own artist perspective to be on top of it, because this is also a collab thing. Like, you're shooting the music video, I just the product, So he was like, "All right, cool." So we have this studio up here that has like 16 different rooms. They have a room that is specifically for people that vlog and stuff, and like they have little booths set up where they like go in there and they rent these little booths out and they vlog professionally for like YouTube. And
right.
I was like, "Okay, that's cool." And he's like, "And it's got a crazy amount of rooms in there." I was like, "Awesome." So I was like, "That sounds like a great idea." Then he compared me to my favorite artist, which we'll get onto that later. And we just went back and forth. We had this entire plan, flew up there. So I flew up there, and we originally were going to shoot it at one place that he mentioned. And I was like, "Okay, cool." So it was easier for me to fly to JFK. And then we transferred over to this other studio. Like, last minute, I get off the plane, and he's like, "Yo, dude, so the guy rents out both of these places, and my place, he accidentally had it renovated."
Oh, okay.
Place above mine, but they renovated mine, so all my stuff kind of got pushed to the side. And I was like, "Oh crap." And he's like, "But there is another studio. It's almost the exact same thing. I usually use it for metal people and everything. So why don't you come on down here and we'll shoot it from there." I was like, "All right, awesome. How far away is it?" And he was like, "Oh, it's right outside of like the Jersey cusp." And I was like, "All right, cool." So I look it up, and it's about an hour and a half away from JFK. And I was like, "All right." So I look up a Lyft and I look up Uber, and those were going to cost me like $200. And I was like, "But if I get there, then I got to rent a hotel, and then I got to come all the way back here and fly out like a day from now." So I was like, might as well just rent a car. So I get Marie on the phone. Marie's like, all right, we're gonna rent a car real quick. Let's make it work and everything. I have insane anxiety when it comes to driving. Like,
Oh, I've been to New York. I know how. I mean, I have anxiety in the back seat of a cab in New York, much less driving. You know?
so I have insane anxiety. So I do my best not to drive a lot, right? Um, so I was like, all right, cool. So she was like, all right, so you go to this one spot and you rent the car and everything. I'm in New York, never been in New York before. JFK is like this huge. And I'm like taking a train to go from different rent-a-car places. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I got to figure out something. So I end up at Esurance, which is where we originally rented the car from. And I was like, all right, cool. So I go in there and I was like, yeah, there should be a car waiting for me. And they're like, under what name? And I was like, either Star Russ or Kris Russ. And they were like, all right, cool. And they look it up and they see your name. So I was like, all right, cool. So they go in there and they're like, all right, which car you want? I'm like, wait. I was like, no, she said that there should be a car waiting for me. And they're like, no, just pick out a car. Don't worry, it's fine. Like, we got to come. Like, all right, cool. So I go and I see this, I see a Nissan. I was like, all right, cool. It's a Nissan Maxima. Screw it. So I jump in it and everything. And as I'm driving, she calls me and she's like, why is there a charge onto our card for $150? And I was like, what? So I accidentally went to the wrong place, but we already had a car rented through there, but she refunded it. So her name was on file. And what they were asking was for me to pick out a car so I could pay for it. And she rented a car through another place, but she ended up getting a refund from that other place. And it was just a whole mess. And so I'm driving in New York traffic, and the entire time I'm like on the wheel. I'm just like going back and forth, dipping and diving, trying to stay on the right side of the road because
they're maniacs.
Yeah. Staying on the right side of the road, and I'm like, I'm gonna go, and I'm not gonna get in that left lane at all. I'm just gonna stay right here and just cruise. I'm looking at my phone and everything. I'm like, oh my gosh, trying to just make sure I get there on time. And it was basically a straight shot, which was cool.
Stranger in a strange land.
Yeah, stranger in a strange land. Never been in a big city that huge before. You know, I've been in San Diego, but San Diego is like maybe a quarter of the size of New York.
Yeah.
Like, and here is like maybe a quarter of the size of San Diego. So
right, yeah.
So so I was like, all right, this is insane. And I just remember a moment of me being like, all right, how bad do you want this? Your anxiety is at a 10, but you need to make this happen. If you don't make this happen, then what are you really doing? Like, you're just giving up on your dreams. This is what you're going to have to do. This is what being an artist is. And I'm just like having this conversation with myself. And I remember Jonathan telling me, because I called him like 3 days prior to like leaving. And I was like, man, this music video has got me nervous and everything. I got to fly up there and everything. And he was like, Kris, do me a favor. Shut up. I say this in the kindest way. Shut up and trust the process. And he said that. I'm just telling myself that the entire time. So I missed the exit that I'm supposed to get off at. I'm like, frick. And luckily, everything in New York and Jersey is kind of attached. So I just get off the exit, do a U-turn, and I end up seeing this guy literally, like, as I'm pulling up to this place, there's these two guys that are in a full fist fight. And I remember just looking at it, and I'm like, man, I'm going to get murdered. Something's going to happen. And I pull up to the place, and I see this, like, short little, well, he wasn't short, you know, he's like maybe like 5'6", dude, really stocky guy, has a camera in his hand. I was like, that's my guy. I pull into the parking lot. He was like, Kris, and I was like, Eric, what's up, man? He's like, man, I got the guitar upstairs and everything. We got everything worried, and he's got like these 2 big bags on him and a camera, and he's like fully prepped. He's ready for this shoot. And he's like, man, it's cool to meet you and everything finally. Like, you know, conversations online and everything are cool, but, you know, you never really know a person until you finally meet them. I was like, all right, cool. So we go up there and we go through like 8 different rooms, and we end up in the room. So the room right before I Try, we were going to shoot it in there, but it turned out that it was being set up for like a wedding or something. So like there was like stuff. So we went to the room right next to it, and we saw everything that was going on in there. And we were like, wow, this is beautiful. He was like, all right, so what this song kind of speaks to me is a groom got left at the altar. and nobody showed up. Nobody, like, just like this entire thing. And like, so we kind of went off of that, and the rose like stands for the romance and everything that was there. But as you can see, it's still beautiful that it still exists, but it's dead, and it's gloomy. So time to let go. So there was supposed to be a shot where I actually, like, instead of me looking at it, it was supposed to be the shot where it's in my hand and it falls, but we just couldn't get it to work. Kept like blurring before it hit the ground. So there was that. But then, we got the shoot done in like maybe 2.5, 3 hours. It's freezing. This is the first time I've actually seen legit snow, and I'm sitting there trying to sing and everything, and I started noticing that my voice is not working in this climate.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, "Don't worry, dog. Like, it happens with a lot of artists. Like, just do your thing." And he had this way of like being motivational by being very like encouraging, but at the same time very intense. So it really gets you in that motion. So he was like over the place. He's in my face with a camera. I'm sitting there just like singing and everything. He goes up to the altar and he's like, "Man, this is some good B-roll. This is gonna make the music video." And I was like, "I don't know what you're doing, but you do it." Eventually we get to the points where he's like, "All right, man, we're done. I think I got everything I need." Shakes my hand. It's like, "All right, I'll walk you out." We go down on one of those like really big lift elevators, and like you can fit 2 cars in there, and walks me out to my car and he's like, "Man, I just want to thank you for making the process happen and everything," and just being like it's just really cool to meet somebody that's really trying to do something like this. And I was like, "Man, thank you very much." And I drive over to a hotel, one of the nicest hotels I've ever really like stayed in. It just felt like I was doing what an artist does. Like I saw the process and I fell in love with that part of it. So I was like, I want to feel that again. So now I'm just not going to stop. Like, I've already got some stuff scheduled, and I'm already trying to like bust my ass just to make sure I'm able to pay for all this stuff, because it's worth it.
Well, dude, good for you. That's awesome that you had that fire lit, because that's the kind of fire that needs to be lit for an artist to not only survive, but be creative and stay inspired, and not get jaded. Because, like we were talking about earlier, in the music industry, you just got to get used to no.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get used to accepting no, and it's not anything against your music or you. Like, if you go to Submit Hub right now and you submit to a bunch of playlists, you're going to submit to 50, maybe 80 playlists, and you may get on what, 5? All of them are going to barely, if that. And it's really humbling, especially when you have like you're very proud of your music, and it's good, and it's quality, but that it's just being able to accept that some people just aren't going to like it, or some people just don't have a use for it. Once you get over that, it's like it's all downhill from there. It's real easy from there.
The thing that I've come to notice is, of course, people aren't going to like your stuff, but there are going to be people that do like your stuff.
Lots, yeah.
People need to stop trying to do it just to like gain a whole thing. Like, they just need to focus on what they're trying to do. Just keep doing what you're trying to do, and just know that you need to have the funds, have the passion, and have the dedication. And as long as those 3 things, then just, it's not necessarily put out as much as you possibly can. Like, you can't, like, don't just put out a new cover song or anything week, but like find who shoots music videos. Like, I have a friend, her name's Sierra Lane. Just like, she did show after show in Florida and like all along the East Coast and everything. She just dropped her first official like song that is called Deep Dive, and she really blew it out of the water. Like, it's got a good music video. The lyric video attaches itself to the music video. And it's just like this really interesting process, like, you really gotta like, don't like write as many songs as you want, but those ones that really stick out, and then bring those to the surface, because you'll always have those other songs that you can just pull from. Like, I try's very first what did you expect with My Name on Your Necklace, I wrote that when I was 14, and I pulled that and put that right there, and I was like, screw it, like, write you want, but make sure you're trying to really hone in on your craft. What separates the independent musician from like a big time musician is just the fact that the big time musician didn't get lucky or anything. They just really honed in on what they were trying to do. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they
Yeah.
got professional quality, they got the promoters, they got a magazine. There's a reason why it's called, like, being a broke artist is a thing, and it's not because you're not making any money from the stuff that you're doing, because you obviously have to work to make money,
Right.
because the return on trying to get your stuff out there is only as much as you put into it, I guess you can say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. And like I was talking about before, it's like it goes both ways. Like I've seen, artists that I feel like should be like huge right now, but they got 100 views on their video because they never even, I mean, they might have shared it once from their page or something. Once you get on the professional level and you realize what needs to be done. And another thing is, a lot of bands don't believe in putting up a lot of money for what they need to do. But if you want quality and you want something that is going to translate from your head the right way,
Mhm.
it takes money. And it's not like you're paying off anybody, but these music bloggers, these magazines, all these sites, all these people, they all need to get paid just like we need to get paid, whether it's someone writing an article or someone doing this or doing that. So, there's been tons of friends that have been like, oh man, y'all should definitely do this. And they're like, I don't know if we're going to do that. And I'm like, it's going to pay off. Trust me. Just, it sucks right now, but it's going to pay. Oh yeah, whatever. Nah, we're not going to do that. We don't have the money for that. It's like, there's an old saying, it takes money to make money. That's just how it is. And no matter what you're doing, I don't give a fuck if you're selling popsicle stick houses online. It's still going to take, money to get that out there.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Whether or not it's $5 or whether or not it's $5,000, like, it's still going to take money. Like, if you want your music to be a business, then you have to treat it like a business. And the difference right now, though, is that you don't have to go to some big time record company and be like, yo, so I don't know what I want to do, but I can play guitar and I can sing. And then they're like, all right, we want to know what? Let's go ahead and put you with this other boy band, and now you can do whatever you want. No, now we
right.
actually connect directly. Like, look at Standards. I don't know if you know the math rock band Standards.
I've heard them. I've
Okay.
heard them before, but I'm not super familiar.
Well, Marcos, the lead guy, he has a few drummers now that he works with, but it used to be, I can't remember her name, but it used to be a girl, a friend of his, not
Mm.
girlfriend, friend of his, that drummed with them, and they both would just do their thing, but he had like this entire intricate plan on honing in and hyper-focusing onto the entire math rock genre. And they became this really big thing, and he really connected with his fans. He really like responds to his fans and stuff. My favorite artist right now, Corey Wells, he does the same thing. Like, he really hones in on making sure people know that he has something out, or making sure people know that it means something to him,
Right.
that they're listening, and that's what we're aiming for, right? Like, we're trying to connect to fans. We don't deserve to be these like, be prideful, but don't be arrogant and cocky. Like,
Yeah. We're not large. Nobody's larger in life. And then back in the day, I mean, think about it. When I was growing up, I mean, granted, the internet was just coming around and stuff, but like when I was growing up, you couldn't like get online and talk to Motley Crue or somebody like that and expect them to answer you back.
yeah,
Nowadays, you can get online and you say something about your favorite guitar player, posts a cool lick, and you say, man, that's a really cool lick. And he actually says, hey, I appreciate that, Kris. And you're like, wow, he actually responded to me, treated me like a human, and didn't just acknowledge me as a number. That's cool. That's what makes lifelong fans.
and that's the type of fan base I'm aiming for. I just want people that really resonate with stuff, and I want them to know that they aren't alone in this big old world, and it's okay to be a male and have feelings, one, and then
Yeah.
also have these emotions about the songs that I write. I'm an emotional person. Why hide it?
You got to get, I mean, that's your channel, that's your channel. That's your stage. Emotional people are put here to touch the emotions of other people. So
You know,
rock and roll, dude. So okay, I have a couple of more questions for you before we get out of here. I just got a couple of things I want to pick your brain about. What are your biggest influences musically? Who or what are your
All right.
biggest influences musically?
So, frick. Aaron Lewis from Stained, for sure. I loved his voice and his way of like writing and how they were able to have those sappy songs, but at the same time have songs that made you want to mosh, like much compared to like I don't know, what is it, Zoe Jane and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I really liked his way of style, like playing and everything, but I loved the emotion that John Vesley or Chris Cabrera. Is that I always mispronounce his name, but
Caraba?
yeah, Carava. There we
Further
go.
Seems, Chris?
What?
Further Seems Forever, Chris?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
And then also like Dashboard Professional.
Dashboard, yes, yes, yes.
You also had John Vesley from Secondhand Serenade. I love the emotion that they put into their music. I loved how John Vesley kind of like was able to execute it better than Dashboard was, but I loved the lyrics and like the complete sideswipe that Dashboard can imply to it. I just wanted to take all of these things and then just kind of give my own take on acoustic songwriting. And I was like, I'm just gonna keep on trying to produce the best product that I possibly can and just put my heart and soul into every single song that I write from this point forward.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Chris Caraba too. Like when I was growing up, Further Seems Forever, Moon is Down was like it was like God to me, you know, when it came out because I like the emotional stuff too. Like I love ballads. Like I love 80s ballads and shit like that. Like but I feel like the art of the ballad when I don't mean just like I'm crying over some girl or my relationship or something like that, but like the art of the sad but there's a light at the end of the tunnel ballad is almost like a lost art these days in some places where back in the day, if you look in the 80s, you know, every time you turned around, there was like some ballad that was hitting you. You're like, man, that got me in the feels. Nowadays, you don't see a lot of ballads. And if you do, I mean, they're slow songs, but you know, that ballad feel, that like heartfelt, like I feel really good, but I also want to cry kind of ballad feel. You don't get that a lot.
Yeah, that's like that's my plan is to have your sad songs, but also be like somebody with an acoustic guitar that people want to come and see.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Wonderwall in it, which I might cover one day just as a meme, but like I don't want to be Wonderwalling it.
You'd probably do a good version of that with your voice. You'd probably cover that well.
Maybe one day when people pop up at a show, they'll just hear Oasis Wonderwall come out of nowhere and be like, "Oh my God, no!" I
would take you for more of a Champagne Supernova kind of guy.
Love that song, actually.
Me too. Me too.
I actually looked up how many times that Wonderwall is streamed, like months a day, and it's like 450,000. And I was like, see, wow. People love Wonderwall, bro.
People love good music. People love good songs, and good songs are timeless. They don't just like hit you for a second and then you don't ever go back to it because that melody isn't like ringing in your head or telling you to go back. It's like, you know, a good song's a good song. Mm-hmm. It's timeless.
All right. Yeah, no, I agree.
So, I got a couple more questions for you, Kris. Is there anybody who would like to say something to Kris while he's here? We got 5 eyes on us right now.
5 eyes.
If anybody has a question, feel free to ask Kris a question. He likes the personal ones too.
Yes, I do. Like you can ask me whatever you want, and I will answer with the utmost that I can. And thank you, everybody that's tuned in. Like this is pretty awesome.
Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. We all appreciate it. And in the local music scene, we haven't been able to put on any shows lately or do any touring. None of the bands have been able to tour. So me and Daniel were talking and we just figured we might as well give the spotlight to some people locally that really deserve it, you know, and kill some time and get to know each other a little bit better for everybody else to see so they can know you a little bit better too.
Yeah, it's getting dark on my side of the road.
So, what are your plans for shows and touring in 2021?
I think that I'm going to answer this real quick.
Oh, okay. We got a question. Okay.
We have Will. What made you do music? Let's see. Also, yeah, I also agree with that. What Give It Hell is doing right now is actually really, really cool. And we, as artists, do thank you for that. I just was turning on the light. I didn't want to. Yeah, but so this is gonna be really cheesy, but so there was this girl I really, really liked, and she liked guys that played guitar, and I wanted to learn how to play guitar, but then she started dating this one guy that obviously like could play guitar, and I was like, you wonder what? I want to do something with this, and then one day I was like, all right, you know what? I mean, if Justin Bieber can make a crap ton of money, I'm just gonna write a whole lyric song stuff, and it turned out horrible. I'm like 12 and writing like these open chord window
Yeah,
songs.
open chord, bar chord, fever.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh man, drop D's a thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
But and I just started falling in love with making songs, and I just wanted to make that a career, despite the fact on whether or not people believed in me or people didn't, or I was going to make money from it or didn't. I just really loved music, and I loved what it made me feel, and I wanted to do the same thing for other people. So it evolved from one person and me being like, man, she cute, I'm going to play guitar for her. Then we go into, man, I really feel this stuff. Whoa, this is something I'm meant to do. So I'm just going to hone in on it.
That's awesome, man. That's an awesome story. I'm sure there's a lot of guys that, or girls or whoever, that were, forced in or decided to start picking up instruments because of I guess some tension. Because we're in sixth and eighth grade. Like, if you're in a band, you're like cool as hell. Like, I remember being 12 years old, going to see bands like pull off watery sounding Metallica riffs at school fairs and being like, they're so cool, man.
Yeah, I remember, and the first time anybody saw Avenged Sevenfold, as much as they may be a meme nowadays, but they were like, man, bro, what? Look at that. What is he doing? So it was like Under Oath was a thing that was coming up around that time, and I was like, I like these guys.
Yeah, hell yeah. I love me some Under Oath, man. That
Yeah.
whole era from like 99 to like 2006 was like, when it comes to music and taste, like, there's too many bands to name.
Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco, Under Oath.
At the Drive-In, Glassjaw, Sayison.
Bam! They say, oh my God, Hawthorne Heights. I'm a Hawthorne Heights fan.
Hell yeah, Thrice. Thursday. The Used.
Right. The Used, My Chemical Romance. Like,
by the way, tell me that new Used record isn't the fucking bomb. Have you heard it yet?
No.
Oh, it's okay. I'm not gonna make you feel bad for it, but Kris, you're gonna fucking love it. It's all over the place, and it's like everything from what you used to hear from the Used to like pop to like hip hop to like shit you want to eat drugs to. It's crazy. It's all over the fucking place. Check it out.
Okay. I'll definitely. You want to know what? Right after I get done with this, first it's gonna be Pale Shelter.
Pale Shelter, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. See,
he's representing Pale Shelter. He's representing. He's showing the love. That's what we need in the local scene.
See, I really was thinking about wearing, like, I have 20 different band shirts in there, and some of the bands don't even exist anymore. And I'm like, man, this sucks.
And you want to wear one, but then you want to wear 20.
Yeah.
Because everybody be like, dude, why'd you wear?
Like, I have a signed volume shirt with all the original members from one of their last shows they played at House of Blues.
Nice. Those guys are great guys. We booked them. We hung out with them, and they were so cool, man.
Gosh, they are so, like, I went backstage with them and hung out. We, did the things and stuff. And we just had so much fun, just kind of chilling. And they were just super chill people. And I was like,
very chill, very down to earth and humble and shit. And
they were just one of those bands. Not a cocky or arrogant bone in their bodies. They were just like, we're just doing this for fun, and it just happened to be a thing.
Hell yeah.
We put money into it. It happened. We're here. So I was like, that's tight.
Yeah, they were really nice guys, man.
Yeah. Crap. What was the question you were about to ask me, though? I forgot.
What question was I about to ask you? Did I already ask it?
I can't remember.
Or do I have a couple more I'd like to ask you if you'd like to?
Yeah, let's.
So, do you have any upcoming plans to do any live concerts or any streams anybody could check out anytime soon?
So as of right now, not really. I'm more focused on getting everything right, everything out, and honing in on my craft to make sure that whenever you listen to it on on your phone or on YouTube or wherever you go, uh, and you listen to it live, even if it's over a phone, that it's pristine. So I'm really working on trying to make sure that that happens because I don't want to be inconsistent anymore. And this is
Right.
like take seriously, as I've said times during this. So as of right now, I don't have anything that I'm going to be doing whenever it comes to live streams because I think right now it's very crucial that it's more like I did do the one on 92.3, which
Right.
I really respect what those guys are doing, by the way, and keeping live music playing and really focusing on local bands and stuff. And when they did that live session, I was fully prepared and ready. But if I do another live session, I want it to be an experience because right now you can watch somebody play songs over the phone and everything, and that's great.
Yeah,
But
there's only so much. Yeah.
yeah, but what if you actually had an experience of somebody like a professional look, you know? And hopefully I can execute that. Worst case scenario, I don't. Best case scenario, I do. Oh, and mid case scenario, that I meet in the middle somehow.
And it just works somehow. That's all that matters.
Yeah, but I'm working on making sure I'm on time the whole time and making sure that, just that the show goes on, you know?
You want that transposition to live to be flawless. Instead of, so many people just in the studio they overdo it and they don't have it to back it up live, And honestly, like that old saying, practice makes perfect. It isn't practice that makes perfect. It's perfect practice that makes perfect. And I'm sure that with everything, and I'm sure you've been playing these songs a lot and you're still working on some of them or whatever, but I'm really excited on hearing everything you have to offer coming up soon, man. I know it's going to be awesome. I know it's going to be kick ass. I know the lyrics are going to be there and the feelings are going to be there. I'm really excited. A lot of other people are really excited too. I'm sure everybody on this feed is.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I hope that I'm able to. Actually, I know I'm going to deliver, but I don't want to talk myself up and then them people like I just really want to I just really so yeah, we'll see what happens. But I promise if you follow Give It Hell or you follow Crew Official, you will definitely be one of the first people to hear it. And I don't know, maybe you'll get a discount code to my wait, actually, I'm not going to promote my merch store right now because it's hard as heck to get anything delivered. I made an order because I got a couple orders in and I ended up having to be like, hey guys, so I'm sorry, but for some reason I can't get any clothes delivered right now and I'm going to figure this problem out. But
Well, so let me ask you a question. Are you going to be doing merch and stuff like that locally, just for us locals? Like if somebody wants a shirt or wants something, will you be able to do it locally?
so, yes, I'm definitely going to be able to do that. Um, the Will Ledger from the Week in Transit order was my very first order on a shirt, and his size was an extra large. And so I go through Big Cartel as my online store. Like so,
Drop shipping, right?
yeah. So the shirts that I have on there are going to be more of a unison type thing. Like, hey, I'm ordering these. It's kind of like you pay for it, I order it, and then I ship it off. I
Gotcha.
did a third party company that was going to start shipping them off, but it was just I wasn't getting enough orders at the time, but now that things are starting to happen again, I might be able to connect that. So instead
Right.
of, so it's just like automatic. The moment the transaction happens, they start printing it and they ship it off, and then they take their share from whatever is made, which I think is a smarter move.
It's awesome. It's hands free, less responsibility, less.
I don't have to deal with anything. The only thing I got to worry about is getting my CDs ready and all that other stuff,
Right. Yeah.
making a small amount of money on the side, which I think people that really people are sleeping on online stores. I really think that more people should try to really push those. But so an incentive for people to show up to my shows, I'm going to have certain shirts or certain items that aren't available on the website.
Nice.
The website is cool and all, but I want you guys to come to the shows and also see that there's more.
All right, we got booted off live, so we're gonna get Kris Russ back up in here for just a little bit. It just kicked me off. I guess it just does that sometimes. I don't use these things often. Hey, Wayne Cron. Speaking of Pale Shelter, what's up, dude? Hey, Kris, if you can, join back in with us. I'll accept you in. What's up, Kai? Cat Bamboo in the house. Wayne, we were just repping some Pale Shelter earlier, man. Good stuff, guys. Proud of y'all. CD rolls. We're just waiting on Kris Russ to join us back up. See if I have to send him a message or something. All right, Kris should be back here in just a second. I'd like to thank all you guys for tuning in to our little interview thing. We appreciate it. We appreciate the local love, and all these locals do too. All right, we got the man back in just a second. Yeah, Jake. Hey, Kris, sorry about that. It just shorted out.
I was like, what happened? No.
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 Where were we at? What were we talking about when they cut us off rudely?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, screw you, Instagram. Damn it.
Screw your ADD. Who cares if you can't recollect what you were talking about?
We're talking about merch store.
Yeah, merch store, drop shipping, and the pain of the shipping, and locally, and how more bands should do it.
I definitely think. Oh yeah. I was going for certain shirts and stuff at local shows and everything, or like live.
Yeah, limited run for that show shirt. Yeah.
Or limited run period. You know, maybe like right before a show, I order a case of, I don't know, certain everything, and at the show, people can be the first people to get them and everything.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. I mean, I think people love limited run stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, like you could have the same T-shirt design forever, I guess, if it's a fan favorite. But like, I mean, even in Spotlights, we're doing like a run of T-shirts, and then we're never doing that run again. We're doing another one, never doing that run again, unless it's like a favorite. Like, we want this shirt, we need it back. It's different, you know. But yeah, well, you keep it shaking, you know, shaking it up, and it also makes it kind of special.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I absolutely agree.
Especially if you're a big fan of the band and they're not huge yet. Mm-hmm. You know, those little special things, those little tailored things are really cool. To say, oh, dude, I got a red shirt from way back in the day before he was on Capitol, you know?
Yeah. This shirt's from 2001, man.
Dude, do you see the puke right here? This was at the show. I had so much Jaeger. No.
I gave him so much Jaeger, he vomited on stage, and I haven't washed this shirt since.
Dude, his blood is on the back sleeve right here.
Jumped into the crowd and cracked his skull open.
No, let's only knock on wood on that. All right.
I hope this is not.
No, we don't want that to happen, though. All right, man. Well, look, it's been great talking to you. I got one more question for you, and then I'm going to let you get out of here.
Okay.
And I just, you know, where do you see Kris Russ in a year?
In a year?
In a year, of course, if you keep pushing the way you're pushing, where do you picture yourself in a year?
To be honest, I like to be very humble, so I don't know how to answer that question, honestly.
I understand. That's why I asked you.
Where I would love to be, playing huge stadium shows. No, I'm kidding. But I would at least be, I'm aiming for at least making a good portion of my income from music and doing all the tax stuff and being an official, like, instead of me being like, oh, I work at a warehouse, I do Lyft, and I'm also a musician. Being more so like, I am a musician, and that's it.
I'm a full-time musician. I float off of music alone, and I work hard at it, basically.
And I really feel that I can do it. I just really need to pipe down and go through the process.
We all know you can do it. We all know you have the talent to do it. You know, it's just about work ethic and luck.
Thank you very much. My work ethic is a thing. Oh. All right. If anybody else would like to ask something before we get off, just go ahead, ask whatever you'd like. We have 5 people still on here. You know, it's fluctuated from like 12 to 5 to 5 to 12.
Thanks for sticking with us, guys. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we really, really appreciate it. I have to thank Give It Hell and Daniel Mary and Vince over here and all the people and everybody that's really supported me up until this point, because you're all the reason why I keep going and keep like releasing music, and I don't want you guys to forget that.
We will never forget that, and we will always stay following you, dude. Love the music, love the grooves, love everything you're doing, and I see, you know, especially after this conversation, that your whole heart and a half is in this. So I wish you nothing but the best of luck, my brother, and I hope sometime soon get to see you maybe out, have a beer. I don't know when, fingers crossed or something, but.
Why does Vincent look like Freddie Mercury? You want to know why? Because he has the pipes to look like Freddie Mercury, okay?
I just need bigger teeth. Bigger teeth and a longer mustache.
Bigger teeth and a longer mustache. But the teeth did come in handy when it came to his, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. I mean, I'm sure it shaped some sort of tone in there.
But yeah, anybody else? Anything else besides, you know, Vince looking like one of the hottest rock stars ever?
Oh yeah, that's me. I look like I fucking own a pizza restaurant.
Where can we find your music at? You can find it on BBTV right now, Spotify, Apple Music, you name it, it's on it. It's even on Tidal now, which apparently is a really big up and coming streaming platform because it actually pays its artists very well. So
oh yeah, Tidal does well, man.
Yep. Amazon, Google, YouTube Music, you name it, I'm on it. I made sure that was a thing. You also have that Spotify link right there, which I love Spotify and everything. I just don't agree with.
I understand. I totally understand.
I put the link. Oh, thank you, Will. You're so sweet.
Awesome. You rule, Will.
Thank you, Will. Will, thank you for being such a supporter whenever it comes to the local scene and everybody around here.
Yeah, dude. We all appreciate it. Every little bit helps. We're all in the same bucket.
Yeet, yeet. Jake, thank you. I would really prefer if you go and check out the music video on BBTV. It's a exclusive premiere.
And make sure you like it. And make sure you comment something nice.
Yeah, I mean, or you can comment something mean.
Terrible, whatever. Just comment.
Do whatever you like. It's a free world. You are up to your discretion to do whatever you like. But I swear, if it's something mean, we will find you. No, I'm kidding.
I'll hunt you down.
Oh, man. All right. I think it might be time to call it.
All right, let's do it. Let's call it, man. Great talking to you, Kris. And we'll save this video. I'll put them both together and we'll upload it to the Facebook for later or whatever for those who didn't watch. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Kris, thanks for giving us your time and thanks for putting out great music. And we'll see you soon.
Awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Vince. Thank you, Give It Hell. And thank you guys for believing in me. And I hope you guys have a good night.
Always. Later, brother.
Later.
Later.